Well, I know you've probably been told never to play with matches, but that's exactly what we're going to do today. Welcome back, friends. I do appreciate you joining me today. Thank you. It's folks like you that keep me going. If you're a subscriber, you're awesome. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Pull the trigger on that subscribe button. And don't forget to ring the bell. All of you, ring the bell. Because that's how you'll know when a new video comes up. Because YouTube doesn't do its job all the time. For some reason. I don't understand it. Oh, we also have a Patreon page. Go to that. That would be cool too. Check that out. Support us directly. That would be greatly appreciated. And those of you that are Patreon patrons, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Well, last time we were together, I promised you we were going to play with fire. And that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm a man of my word. We're going to play with fire. This last Christmas, I got underneath the tree a few things all packaged together. And one of those things that was packaged in a box was a survival stormproof match kit by UCO. Interesting name. I don't have any experience with these things, so we're going to experience this together today. Me for the first time. Any of you have any experience with these stormproof matches? Leave a comment down below. Let me know that you have and what your experience is. Watch along with us today and maybe just make comments as you go. Just type into the comment section as you see things happening. That would be kind of fun. I know I do that with other people when I'm watching their videos. Well, it's another way to start fire. Most of you know that I have a few different ways that I like to start fire. One of them in particular is a little ferro rod that comes with a little plunger thing that sends out some spark. We call it the Sparkum Thingum. You'll see that right here. And that's probably my favorite way because it doesn't take anything but that one little unit and you've got sparks galore. And then if you get some tinder, you're off and running. Well, and then you can use butane lighters. I mean, and I carry all sorts of stuff. Go back and watch some of the videos. I might put some links down below. Starting fire, and you'll see all those things. But I've never really used these. Well, I've used storm matches or water-resistant matches and strike anywheres. Certainly have used those. But these are a little bit different. And before we go any further, let's get to the specs. Overall length, about 2.5 inches. It's about a 1-inch diameter. It weighs in at 5/8 of an ounce. It barely weighs anything. It has a built-in striker surface for the matches. It even came with a spare one. Actually, 2. It came with its own cotton tinder that's stored nicely in the cap. I guess when you're done with that, you can put your own dryer lint or other cotton in there too. It came with 15 windproof and waterproof matches. See, it says 15. The container is very watertight, so it'll keep everything nice and dry inside of there. The matches themselves are windproof and waterproof. They'll even burn underwater. Use our Amazon link down below. When you do, it helps us out and it doesn't cost you a penny more. And after using the link, save it to your bookmarks so you can have easy access to it in the future. Thank you. Okay, one of the challenges when you're out on a hike or you're on an overnighter or camping or whatever is in inclement weather, it can be kind of hard to start a fire if you're not using like a butane stove or something like that, which is relatively easy to start up. But you got to strike a match to get that butane going. And if things are wet, that's a problem. So as you saw in the specs portion, this is a little waterproof container. Now I've got other waterproof containers, and what I might end up doing is taking this and transferring the contents here and put it in that other container. But maybe just as an emergency thing, and it's so lightweight, I'll just throw it in the bag and it'll be an extra way in case things go a little sideways, get a little wet. I've always got one of these. All right, now I'm going to actually take this outside because it's designed to be done in bad weather or weird weather conditions. So let's take it outside and see how it does. Okay, the first thing I want to try is, how easy is this thing to start just in regular dry weather? Maybe I will just leave that closed. So pull this out. I'm going to give it a strike and see what happens. Well, there you go. It's happening. Look at that. Nice. All right, so it has kind of a flare effect. It just went out. Okay, that's interesting. That's not quite exactly what I thought was going to happen. And it didn't last very long. I was all ready. Let's replay that and see how long this thing lasts. Yeah, that was just a matter of seconds. Very interesting. Let me grab some water and we're going to submerge it and see if it'll continue to burn in the water. Let's try that. All right, I've got a little container of water here, a little glass jar. Put this to the side. I guess maybe the next test could be what happens if it gets wet. All right, so I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to submerge it in here. You see that? It's getting wet. Definitely wet. It's in the water. All right, let's strike it. See if it lights. Oh, it did start. Okay, let's submerge it. Look at that. It is actually. Look at that. Oh, it picked up again. See what it does. Is it burning in there? Okay, that put it out. It looks like it's got a little extra to burn. That was interesting. It did burn inside of there and it caused some eruption of the water. Plus it was wet when I started it, and I did start after a couple of strikes. Let's see if I can get that lit again. I'll be right back. I'm back with my second most favorite way to start a fire, and that's this little UST butane lighter, and I'm sure any kind of butane lighter could work for you. I'll leave a link for all of these things down below, but I just wanted to see if it would start up again if I nope, it didn't. Well, it started to start and then it just didn't. Yeah, it's done. Okay, that's all that'll do. Huh. Very interesting. Not sure exactly what else to test. It kind of, I had a different expectation, I got to be honest with you. I was thinking something a little better. I'm not going to lie. Okay, I'm going to do one more. One more. Now, I'm sure it's going to light the tinder, so I'm not even going to bother with that. What am I trying to see here? How long will this go underwater? I guess that's the best way. Let's bring the camera down so we can see inside here, shall we? Let's do that. All right, there we go. Now, how appropriate. It's beginning to rain, so this is a pretty good example of trying to get this thing lit in the rain when it's wet and all that. I'm actually going to wet it again, just like that, and I'm going to get it started and then drop it in there. Well, it's not a strike anywhere, that's for sure. Huh, okay, it failed that time. Did not want to, actually, I broke it too. Here we go, let's get this off of there. I think I'd be struggling but that is pretty interesting. And it continues to burn. If you can call that burning. Oh, and it just went out. It stopped. So it does have a threshold. where it won't burn anymore, and that's very interesting. Let's get this thing started. Yeah, okay, as you can see, it's trying real hard. All right, well, I don't know that I could 100% recommend it. If it's wet, it's a little harder to start, and I dropped the match. It went out after a few seconds. It does say that it should stay burning even after submerged, but it won't be lit for very long. Yeah, it looks like it's still trying. Now I wonder if this were to dry out. Can I get it to? That's it. Very interesting. All right, I'm going to give it one more fair shake. The one thing that I didn't do, or did do, is I got the striker kind of wet, and that may have affected it somehow. But if they're not strike anywheres, then I guess it doesn't really matter if I get this thing wet, or if I should say if this thing is waterproof. But if I get this thing wet, it ain't gonna do me any good. I don't think these are strike anywheres either. I tried it on the cinder block and it didn't work. All right, I've got my hair dryer. I'm going to see if it'll work in gale force winds. Let's try this. Well, it did light. Okay, well, I'll give it that. It did light, and it accelerated it, actually. And so it only burned about half as long as when the wind wasn't blowing. I'm not sure what to think. Okay, now I'm going to give you some input. Okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, if it was the only thing I had with me, I'm not a very smart backpacker. Now, they did light. They did stay lit underwater. When I got it wet, it did strike, although the striker, when it got wet, refused to ignite the match. I tried it on the cinder block as a strike anywhere. Didn't work. So the little waterproof container and then having the striker on the outside, not so good. Now it does have some spare strikers here, and certainly once it dried out, as you saw with the hairdryer part of the experiment, it did light up. Okay, windproof. Yes, it lit in the wind. I had the hairdryer on high, and I struck this, started up, and it actually accelerated the burn. And it stands to reason. You've got oxygen, more oxygen going to it. It's like a little flare, and it's just going to burn like heck. Are there other approaches? Yeah, this won't blow out either. I can get that started. It just kept going. So it didn't blow out. So there are multiple methods. I would say, so scale from 1 to 10, I got to go back to that. I'm a little reluctant. I'm not very good at giving high scores if they're not good. So here it comes, folks. I'm going to give it a 2.5. Because I feel bad giving it a 2 because it did work. But I could not give it a 3 or a 4 because it didn't meet my expectation. I thought it would burn a lot longer. And I think that's probably where I got hung up. Now, they do make bigger matches than this in a pack of 25, and I'll see if I can get some of that in. They're bigger than this. You know, there's more to them. I just think if there's twice as much fuel as this here, it'll just burn twice as long, right? And if this only lasted, well, you'll have to see from the playback because I didn't actually time it. It went out so quick. So maybe the bigger ones will do better, but they cost more. You know, guys, I might as well keep my matches dry. Put them in the containers that I normally put them in because they're nice and dry in there. Or just rather than use a match, use a ferrule rod or something that can spark and I can get tinder started. Because frankly, the tinder in here is probably going to burn really good. So, and we didn't try that. My guess is put this tinder, this cotton, with your other fire starting material. Strike this quickly, get it into there. It'll probably catch fire. You'll probably be okay. Maybe I'd just need more time with it, and maybe I'd give it a higher score. But for right now, the way I normally do, or this is my secondary way, my first primary way is the spark thing. And I know I can get fire started instantly with that and some dryer lint soaked in paraffin. And the paraffin is waterproof. I've done that. You can go back and watch a couple videos. So, all right. Well, I do thank the person, though, that thought of me when they got this for me for Christmas. That was very cool. So thank you. And you know who you are. Thank you very much for that. But can I give it a high recommendation? No. Sorry. Yuko, Usoko. If you're watching this, and I'm going to reach out to you to see, did I miss something? I invite you to leave a comment down below, Uko, or anybody else who's had experience with this, and set me straight. If I did something goofy, or maybe way outside the parameters of what it was supposed to do, just let me know. Let me know how you use this. Let me know what you use to start fire. Okay? That's what I want to know. And if you've got a video of it, put a link. I'll put the link so others can watch your video of how you start fire. I think that would be a lot of fun. Alrighty? I'll have links to this. I'll even put the link to these guys because they have some other camping gear that you may want to peruse and take a look at. I haven't tried any of their other stuff. I'm just hoping their other stuff is good stuff, and this would just happen to be one of those things. But I'll put links. Use my links for whatever, please. My Amazon affiliation will help pay the bills around here. That would be greatly appreciated. It doesn't cost you a penny more, and you get the stuff delivered right to your door. And if you use Amazon anyway, please use my link. All right, that would be great. That's all I got. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me. Next time, I've got some more fire stuff. I really do. There's some more fire. I'll drag that stuff out, and we'll play with that next time. All right? See you the next time. God bless you. God bless America. May America bless God. Greetings, friends. Thank you for joining us today. Us?